Yo folks and welcome. In today's video we'll be covering Gacha Weekly with upcoming Gacha news with FGO, Genshin, Hunter x Hunter collabs, and not to mention Full Metal Alchemist news that was absolutely huge. Let's jump right into this. First things being is Echoes of Mana. Oh my god, Echoes of Mana, can I say that properly? Going to be getting a pre-registration starting March 17th. Obviously the date has already passed, but if you don't know what Echoes of Mana is or the Mana series, it's going to be breathing life into sort of like the action RPGs. There was no action RPGs really without the Mana series. They sort of influenced a lot of different things. In case you guys are wondering, how's the gameplay looking? It's going to be brought to you by Square, but it's also going to be a 2D action RPG. And as you can see, you're going to be controlling one character at a time, and then there's going to be other characters essentially doing attacks with you. I think this is nice because a lot of action RPGs, they feel a little bit lonely, and the fact that you can only control one character at a time, I think it's a little bit nicer. I don't like controlling multiple ones at the same time. Then we have like the UIs, like, you know, the upgrades. There's going to be puzzles, you know, sort of like that Zelda isometric sort of experience where it's like, oh, you got to solve this to get the chest and whatnot. There's going to be co-op battles and all sorts of things. It's going to be hard for me to participate in this one because, you know, I don't have too many Gacha friends, except for the ones in the Discord. So for the folks who are there, maybe we can try this out if I can get my hooks into it and actually play it for longer periods of times. But there's so many Gacha to cover. Echoes of Mana coming to you soon, hopefully sometime in 2022. And then let's go ahead and cover Apex Legends. This is going to be entering pre-registration. In case you don't know what Apex Legends is, essentially it's going to be a battle royale, same flavor as Fortnite, PUBG, and all the things, but I feel like a lot of people know what Apex Legends is. It's going to be brought to you on your mobile devices, so anyone can play it. And for me, it's going to be a cool title. I don't know if I'm going to do a first impressions on it. I'm not really an Apex Legends battle royale sort of guy, but look forward to this one in case you guys have wanted to see this on your mobile fronts. Then we also have Jade Dynasty, a Wuxia CN-inspired sort of fantasy. And this one is going to be a decent game. It's not going to get my full recommendation, of course. I have a first impression, so if you want to check it out, it's going to be a decent title in my opinion. If you wanted an MMORPG where it actually feels like an MMORPG, you actually get to help interact with people, I thought that was really nice because a lot of MMORPGs don't nail it. Brought to you by Perfect World, and honestly, a decent hero collector as well. Then we also have Full Metal Alchemist getting a mobile PV. So we thought this was going to be getting a fighting style sort of treatment. This is actually a tactical RPG. Absolutely blew my mind in that sense because I was like, oh my goodness, I did not think this was going to be a tactical RPG whatsoever. And it looks exactly like Fire Emblem on the GameCube. You know, like the one with Ike and stuff. I am so happy it looks like this. The UI, the design, the feeling, everything about it looks absolutely stunning. This is the game that I essentially wanted, ideally, for Full Metal Alchemist, just because it looks amazing this way and it just makes it more mobile friendly in my opinion. Honestly, if this released like as an actual console or PC game, it would probably be even better. But the fact that it's coming to mobile devices and everyone can play it and everyone can experience, that is going to be really nice. The characters, I'm not sure if you're as hype as me, but they look absolutely amazing. I can't wait for this game to essentially release. Full Metal Alchemist blowing it out of the water with its visuals, the characters, and everything, being essentially surprised with it being a tactical RPG. And a bunch of new characters essentially teased, so look forward to that one. And then we also have Soul Tide coming internationally at the end of March. So if you don't know what this is, it's going to be a dungeon RPG. You're going to be going through dungeons, collecting rewards, fighting the baddies. So that's going to be a pretty cool game to release at the end of March. Then we also have Time Defenders. Just note that this was already out in JP back in August, but it's going to be coming to global. So it's going to be a 3D, I'm assuming some sort of RPG. I can't say whether it's action or not. The key visuals on this look really nice. I think it's going to be a decent game from what I can tell. The setting seems sort of unique, but the thing that I want to cover the most is the waifus look nice and the art looks pretty decent. So hopefully this is going to be an amazing title and it comes out in global with welcome arms. Then we also have Arknights Ensfield. It's going to be on PC, Android, and iOS devices. I know we've already covered it, but oh my goodness, this game is going to be one of the better games to release in 2022, 2023. The visuals on it, it looks exceptional. The cutscenes look nice, and the base building, the universe, the world, I think this is what Arknights fans have been waiting for. I can't wait for it. But yeah, that's going to be on Android, PC, and iOS devices. I thought that was pretty cool just to let y'all know. And then we also have Dragon's Blaze Knights of Veda. Now, if you're wondering why am I covering this one, it's gonna be on your mobile fronts. But the thing that I want to talk about the most is that this game looks visually stunning. I played this style back on my PS Vita, and I love these action RPGs. Like the way they design like the cutscenes, and like the cutscenes look exactly like the gameplay. I thought it was phenomenal. I want to play this game. I think there's a game like this already out on the mobile front, but look at this. The way they're essentially interacting and the way they're, hitting the opponents and the facial expressions and the casting of abilities and everything about this game is what it looks like. What you see is what you get. And that's what I like about like these KR 2D action RPGs, because everything looks so beautiful, detail oriented to the highest degree. And the waifu, she looks amazing. She looks like she is going to absolutely destroy everything. And I cannot wait to be part of this universe. Dragon Blaze Knights of Veda coming to you on mobile fronts sometime soon. It's going to be announced in March, but we don't know actual release dates. I just want to put that on your radar. Then we have Hypergriff bringing us Existris. Now, when it comes to this one, I don't even know if I'm saying the name right. It looks like it's going to be a turn-based RPG as far as I can tell. There seems to be 2 meters right here. There's going to be the shield and HP. But as far as everything goes, Hypergriff is the same people who's going to bring us Arc Knight's Ensfield. So I don't know when this one is going to be releasing, no clear dates, but it looks like a stunning game, and the more news that I essentially get about it, the better. It's going to be something that I'm definitely looking forward to. And the next thing is Endless National. Now, when it comes to this, it seems to be a cross between like For Honor graphically and then the gameplay of Age of Empires, of like those city builders and stuff. But honestly, I don't know if this is going to be a good one. These mobile titles usually are kind of iffy, but I just want to keep it on your radar. It's going to be like that hex style sort of format. And in case you sort of like this gameplay, then it's something to sort of keep your eye on. Then we also have Disney's Mirrorverse getting a release date sometime in 2022, I believe. It's going to be opening up June 23rd. So in case you guys are wondering what is Disney's Mirrorverse, I believe it's going to be just another, AFK style sort of game, maybe an RPG of sorts. But you're going to see your Disney characters in armorized sort of formats. They're going to look all decked out. I guess it sort of draws inspiration from like Kingdom of Hearts in some ways, because, all the characters, they look like stylized in RPG sort of sense, and they're fighting some otherworldly creatures. But yeah, Disney's Mirrorverse is going to be brought to you by the people. Whoever create this, I have no idea. But it looks okay, and I like the Disney franchise. But usually their mobile games have things left to be desired. But yeah, that's gonna be the, Infinity Souls from Aniplex in 2022 for Japan. Then we also have a Black Rock Shooter trailer, Dawnfall. All right, that's gonna be the ending sort of sequence with it. Why am I showing this to you? Because I think Black Rock Shooter universe looks stunning. You can see some of the waifus in this, and they definitely know how to sort of animate like these trailers and stuff, sort of give you a feeling of what this sort of universe is going to be about. So Black Rock Shooter, Fragment, Downfall, going to be an RPG coming in 2022, iOS and Android. For JP specifically, we don't know when global is going to be coming, but honestly, it's going to be one of the better games to release. Then we also have Day A Live Spirit Crisis that's going to be releasing as well. Just note the anime is going to be out next seasons. I think it's going to be fall or spring or summer. I don't know my seasons, but regardless, it's going to be getting a gacha. I don't know if it's going to be good. I don't know if it's going to be an action RPG like its predecessor. It's going to be turn-based. All I know is Day A Live is a long-standing series. It's a harem style, so if you like harem sort of games, there's gonna be plenty of different waifus to collect. But yeah, it's gonna be getting a gacha. Feel free to check that out in case you guys want to do so. Then we have Tower of God getting a release date announced. It's gonna be April 20th. I don't know if that's going to be in global. It says Korea specifically. So we'll see if that actually comes to us one day. And what I want to talk about with this game, it looks different from what I initially saw from the previous trailers, mostly because it's going to be a side-scrolling action RPG idol sort of thing. It's different from when I initially saw it, where, it looked like it was going to be isometric sort of views. So now it's going to be different sort of point of views going on within this game. Tower of God Mobile essentially releasing in KR, South KR specifically in April. So that's going to be really cool. 420 to be a very cultured date as well. Then we have Final Fantasy XV War for EOS. That's going to be entering early access. It's going to be the same folks who brought you Final Fantasy XV New Empire. Honestly, it looks like a cash grab just because there's like 8 stars on this one character. I think that's going to be Noctis, so I don't know. It's going to be pretty decent. Not really, just because those stars really worry me. But just keeping it on your radar in case you guys want to try that one. Then we have Hamster Valley. I think this is paying homage to like Hamtaro and like the Hamster Stardew Valley sort of games. So if you like that sort of deal, maybe has some Rune Factory vibes in it. Honestly, it looks cute, but I don't know what this is releasing. It says 2022, but I don't know if it's even coming to global, but it looks cute nonetheless. I like hamsters. Yeah, hamsters are cute. Let's jump into the next things with Dungeon and Fighter Mobile officially launching in KR. If you don't know what this is, it's going to be brought to you by Nexon. We hate Nexon. I mean, we love Nexon, by the way, because, they make good games like Blue Archive, honestly. And then we also have like, different characters such as the Oni Swordsman, Fighter, Gunner, Mage, and Priest jumping into the franchise. So if you like this game, bring some nostalgia into your veins, then feel free to try it out, Dungeon Fighter Mobile. Then we also have the Genshin news where Klee is getting her own headphone set. That's kind of cute. And then 2.6 pretty much being announced. We have the Ayatos, the Ventis, and Ayakas essentially getting their own banners and all sorts of events such as the Archon quest, use of Violet Evergarden, Spices from the West, Vibro Crystals, and outside of the canvas, inside the lens, not to mention the Chasm stuff. Then we also have Zhao featuring in his own calendar. You can find that on Twitter in case you guys want to download and print it out because he's a wonderful looking husbando culture. And then we also have, of course, Ayato getting his own trailer. Man, this guy looks absolutely beautiful. If you're not pulling for him, I understand. But the finest of husbando connoisseurs will definitely get this man. He just looks like a beautiful husbando, and I think he's going to be one of the cooler characters to essentially release within Genshin. He seems very level-headed compared to a lot of the other characters. So far, just visually, I don't know, I haven't played Genshin really, but to me, he just seems very reliable, someone I would lean my head against in order to, sort of cover me from the rain. I'm pretty sure Yato can do that. Alright, so we got 2 new characters in Genshin Impact that have been announced. The first one's is Yelan from the Ministry of Civil Affairs. So she's going to be a Hydro-looking waifu, and she's going to be sharing a very similar pose some people waiting on the train. So Yelan looking very fantastic right there. And then we also have Kuki. She's going to be the deputy leader of the Arataki gang. So she's going to be looking pretty spicy as an electro waifu. And honestly, these 2 characters, they looked absolutely stunning. I can't wait for them, and hopefully they release sometime soon. No official release dates, but honestly, 2 waifus being announced. Mihoyo, Hoyoverse, you guys know what you are doing by essentially teasing them out. Then we also have FGO getting a White Day in JP land, so that's going to be really cool. If you don't know what White Day is, essentially your waifus will give husbandos chocolates and all sorts of stuff. It's going to be giving us some event items and all that stuff, so it's going to be pretty grindy, I can tell, just because there's a lot of different things to farm. But if you wanted to, spend your time with your husbandos in FGO, now's the time to do it in JP. Then we also have the Day to Bring Down Gods. That's going to be the latest main quest event that's going to be occurring in FGO EN. It's going to be bringing Kerstraria Wodim. I have no idea if I said that right. He's going to be the leader of the Cryptors. Honestly, it looks really cool. FGO people, grind it out, farm it out. I don't know what to say. FGO stuff. Shinobi Senran Kagura is going to be collabing with Dead or Alive Extreme Venus Vacation. That's a lot of words for a collab. But just know, the most important part are the waifus look absolutely stunning in this Senran Kagura sort of style. So if you want to see some Dead or Alive characters in this sort of format, then now is the time to jump into it. Oh my gosh, this looks really nice. I don't care if it's a repeat banner or whatever. The waifus look stunning, and Senran Kagura is only for the cultured peoples, alright? Next thing is Shadowverse and Uma Musume is going to be kicking off their collabs. If you're wondering, this is brought to you by Side Games, and Shadowverse is going to be your card-based RPG. So if you ever wanted to use your Uma Musumes within, Shadowverse, you can totally do it. It's kind of weird because Shadowverse is kind of like a dark sort of fantasy, and then we have someone like Special Week essentially doing her own thing, being like, hey, it's gonna be happy and whatnot. But it's gonna be really cool that there's gonna be a collab there. It's a sort of different flavor in the Shadowverse universe, right? Then we also have Nier collabing with PUBG, or essentially Nier characters appearing in PUBG if you like that sort of thing. And they have Project Neurocloud. This is going to be the Girls Frontline game that's going to be entering in 2022 for Korea. So this is going to be really cool in case you guys have been waiting for this one. It's going to be a hex style sort of tactical RPG as far as I know when I first initially saw it. Then we have Guilty Gear collabing with Epic 7. Now, I have a sharp weakness for Epic 7, and when I see key visuals and characters for this game, mostly because I think Epic 7 is one of the most beautiful games to my eyes specifically, because I love the way the animations look, I love the story, I love the dynamics. I just hate the grinding, I hate the PvP, and I just don't like the RNG when it comes to gear, alright? Visually speaking, one of the best to me. That's a personal preference. Jacko looks absolutely stunning, an amazing looking waifu, and millionth like Guilty Gear collab. I wonder if Epic 7 is ever going to collab with something outside of Guilty Gear. No hate to Epic 7 though, I think this is one of the best games ever. You know, it's definitely within like, you know, my gold standards for gachas in some ways because it has like that 2D format that I love, except it spins like, you know, that Summoner's War sort of like, you know, franchise with it. Oh, that mask looks really cool. I guess that's why she's called Jacko. But yeah, that's going to be Epic 7 right there. Love to this game. I cannot play it because it's too much of an addiction. And the saddest news of this week is Dragalia Lost ending its service. The last update is going to be on July 2022, but that just pretty much spells like the fact that there's going to be an ending to the actual release of this game and, you know, future updates. It's going to be ending specifically for Nintendo, so Cygames decides to essentially uphold, you know, Dragalia Lost. It's going to be living a lot longer. But since Nintendo's like, no more updates for this game, it's essentially spelling the end for this one. Maybe Cygames will revive it, who knows, but that's going to be Dragalia Lost, the sad news. But let's spin it up. Snoop Dogg is going to be in Call of Duty Warzone Mobile specifically. So in case you wanted Snoop Dogg to, you know, bring the fun in Call of Duty, that's going to be a thing, all right? So look forward to that. Then we also have Code Geass collabing with Love Live. All the Love Live waifus looking absolutely stunning, and I like Code Geass, so that seems pretty cool to me. Next thing is Hearthstone is getting its expansion with the Sunken City in April 2022. So if you like Hearthstone, you like, you know, I guess like underwater sort of things, then that's going to be coming. And then we also have Hunter x Hunter collabing with Puzzles and Dragons. Going to be bringing our boys Gon and Killua, not to mention some other characters that have been within the franchise for quite a while, such as Frollo, and I think Ahsoka is going to be in there as well since he was teased, and then Kurapika and some other characters that I don't know the names of. And then here's going to be a look at the gameplay in case you guys are like, what does Puzzles and Dragons even sort of look like? You do like these insane combos to deal the biggest of damage, and you are like, I don't know, like an infinity giga brain to pull off like these combos because I have no idea. And you like to see the big damages. This guy looks absolutely happy. He's probably famous. So this famous dude is like doing all sorts of damage. Puzzles and Dragons right there, collabing with Hunter x Hunter. Look forward to that. Then we also have Tears of Themis Electrifying Night event. Honestly, I really want to give Tears of Themis a try. This is going to be a streetwear inspired sort of thing. And the reason why I want to try Tears of Themis is because there's not a lot of love for otome style games or pretty much female oriented gacha games or female oriented RPGs. And honestly, the husbandos look amazing. Brought to you by Hoyoverse/miHoyo. So I feel like it's going to be decent. I still need to try New Carnival. There's a lot of things on the list that I need to try that I'm like keeping my eyes on. And honestly, the husbandos look really cool and I'll try it once I find the time. There you go, spray painting the camera. Then we also have Guardian Tales getting a huge update, World 11 Part 2. In case you're wondering what is Guardian Tales, essentially a 2D action RPG with some Zelda inspiration. Honestly, there's a lot to like about this game just because of the fact that there's a lot of 2D action RPGs that don't nail like this pixel dungeon style format correctly. So if you like this sort of thing where Guardian Tales is getting updates, you like the action RPG, you like, you know, Zelda series style game, I think this is one to definitely try out, especially with the fact that it's getting a pretty much huge update to its main quest. And then next thing is Sin Chronicle. Just some news on it. Kevin Pekin is going to be the person who created like the OST for it. If you don't know who Kevin Pekin is, he's going to be a beloved composer. And he's also, you know, known to be a friend with the Trash Taste folks. So it's really hype that he's going to be one of, if not the main producer for Sin Chronicle. And not to mention, I was, you know, did my first impressions for this game. I thought the soundtrack, everything about it was lovely. So Sin Chronicle definitely getting a stamp of approval, especially on the soundtrack portion, brought to you by Kevin Pekin. We also have Uma Musume, who's getting its Skill Up event. That's going to be March 24th to March 29th. The reason why that's so important to me is because skills are very hard to grind within this game. So feel free to check it out. Then Uma Musume is also getting a White Day event where essentially the waifus will be giving us chocolates. not to mention 500 jewels, so feel free to log in during that time frame. Going to be 30 days of 500 jewels, I think. If I'm not reading that right, that's fine, but that's going to be awesome nonetheless. And then there's also to be Project Sekai and Blackrock Shooter collabing. Now, if you don't know what Project Sekai is, it's going to be brought to you by Hatsune Miku, you know, sort of like that rhythm style game. And honestly, I love Hatsune Miku. I love Project Sekai. This is one of the few rhythm games that I have tried on my Switch and all the different things. If you wanted to essentially see like the Blackrock Shooter in like this collab with the Hatsune Mikus, then you definitely can. And I think this is going to be a wonderful title, definitely wholesome and more rhythm-like in case you guys want to try it. And lastly, I will leave you guys with the Trash Taste stream, specifically the 24-hour stream. If you jump to the 15-hour and 50-minute mark, you'll see Goey, oh my god, I just combined their names, Gart and Joey speaking with Iron Mouse on Gacha games and, you know, FGO and all that stuff. So if you sort of want to see Trash Taste, if you don't know what Trash Taste is, I have no idea what you're doing. But make sure to check them out. They're pretty much like the biggest YouTubers on like the AniTuber sort of front. And they're talking about gacha games for quite some time, talking about like, hey, you know, what do they play? The ones that they're culturally into, such as Destiny Child and all this stuff. I really enjoyed this one. I've been watching like this Twitch stream for quite some time. It's been a couple of days and I highly recommend it. You know, Trash Taste definitely just giving us all sorts of like vibes with gacha games, even though Connor hates it when Joey and Gart talk about it, but it doesn't matter. Gacha games are in like the veins of any people and anime lovers and, you know, Iron Mouse and everyone. I think this was a fantastic sort of charity stream. I hope to like donate into it. They were donating to like doctors. Essentially, they support like all sorts of doctors around the globe to help the folks in Ukraine and all sorts of locations. But yeah, check out the stream. I thought it was lovely. You know, if you want more gacha news and just gacha opinions, this is definitely the one. But yeah, that brings us to the end of today's video. It was absolutely phenomenal where we got to see essentially Full Metal Alchemist bringing it on with its tactical RPG fronts, and not to mention some other titles that are going to be up and coming. But anyways, if you made it this far in today's video, consider subscribing, dropping a like, leaving a comment, follow me on Twitch, follow me on Twitter. Once we hit 35,000 subs, we're doing a giveaway. Thanks so much for watching. Have yourself a fantastic day, and see you guys in the next one.